The biggest lessons I've learned in my life are here. Through different topics, I'm going to inspire and motivate you to reach your success and your dreams. I'm so grateful that you're here on Journey to Success. So let's enjoy my next episode together. Hi guys, my name is Fabio from the Fabio Podcast and welcome to this new episode. Today we're going to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger, but we're going to talk about his, not about his story. I think I would like to do one day, but in this episode I like to go more deep on something regarding a speech he had in the University of Southern of California. And I'm sure most of you know the speech, but I would like to analyze better the speech and understand better, his intention and what he was actually communicating with the people around him, with the students around him. So let's start. I have this beautiful website today. The name is bestgraduationspeech.com. So I suggest to have a look. And he named this blog, this post, as Arnold Schwarzenegger, actor and politician, and 6 rules on how to be successful. Okay, so we have 6 rules here, and the first rule is trust yourself. Break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, work like hell, and give something back. Of course, these are all the rules the blogger took it from his speech. And here we have the transcript, the full transcript. So let's see. Let's do it. He said, so, well, thank you very much. So there is an applause. Hello, everybody. What a great introduction. What a wonderful thing. What a great, great welcome I'm getting here. So thank you very much. So the fact that he's say to the people thanks is indirectly putting himself in a second place. So that's very beautiful. I mean, I haven't heard applause like that since I announced that I was going to stop acting. This is very beautiful. This is very important. This is a real good strategy of him. He likes to use irony about certain situations, heavy situations, or situation he cannot handle, or just a situation where he can already have a control about it. Another example that I would like to mention is when he was running as governor of California, and someone threw on his face or shoulder an egg, and he said, "This guy owed me a bacon because." Now I remember the full sentence. He said, "This guy owed me a bacon because he doesn't know that I don't eat eggs without bacon." So such powerful arm. The fact, to use this irony so easy and go out from certain important and strong, heavy situations like that. And this is very good about him. So we should learn more about it, especially politicians in this case. So, but anyway, he said, it is really terrific to see here so many graduate students and undergraduate students graduating here today. I hear that there are 4,500 graduating here today, undergraduate students. So this is fantastic. There are 2,200 men, 2,300 women, and 5 have listed yourself as undecided. Also here, it's very nice how he mentioned, man and woman. That's very, very delicate if we consider in which kind of age we are living right now, where you really have to be, careful to talk about man and woman as it should be and make a distinction about it. Then he said, so this is really a great bunch of people here. I love it. But seriously, President Sample, trustees, faculty, family, friends, and graduate, it is a tremendous privilege to stand before you this morning. There is nothing that I enjoy more than celebrating great achievements. And I don't just mean your parents celebrating never having to pay another tuition bill. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just celebrating the great accomplishment. So let me congratulate the Trojan class of 2009 on your graduation from one of the finest universities in the world. Let's give our graduates a tremendous round of applause. What a special day, what a great accomplishment. Now, this is an equally special day, of course, for the parents, for the grandparents, siblings, and other family members whose support made all of this today possible. And let's not forget, of course, the professors, those dedicated individuals who taught you, who came up with exciting ways to share their vast wisdom, knowledge, and experience with you. And I must also say thank you to President Sample for honoring me with this fantastic degree. Thank you very much. Wow, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Doctor of Human Letters. I love it. But of course, I noticed that it wasn't doctorate in film or in cinema or in acting. I wonder why. But anyway, that's okay. I take whatever I can get. But maybe now, since I'm the doctor, I can go back up to Sacramento, and maybe now the legislature will finally listen to me. But anyway, I stand before you today not just as Dr. Schwarzenegger, or as Governor Schwarzenegger, or as a Terminator, or as a Conan the Barbarian, but also as a proud new member of this Trojan family. He just congratulates a lot of people around him, the students, of course, as well, and indirectly he also gives some credit, as it should be, and he's right to do, because he accomplished a lot. It's just a reminder, like, hey, before to talk, just I have been this, and this. I've been an actor, I've been a politician, I've been that, and I'm right to say something to you. I'm right to teach you something in my way. Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket. Now, some of you may know that my daughter just completed her freshman year right here. One of the most exciting things for me has been to learn about the great traditions that make this university so wonderful and so special. Okay, my daughter told me all about, for instance, the Victory Bell. She sat me down and she told me it weighs 295 pounds and how the winner of the annual football game between the USC and the UCLA takes this bell and gets to paint it in the school colors. And I stopped her in the middle of talking. I say, wait a minute, Catherine, back up a little bit. UCLA has a football team. Okay, now, of course, my daughter journey. Okay, I would say to go forward about the daughter thing, but I have to tell you something. I think this is a bunch of nonsense, because after all this, man. Okay. Before we go through, if you're enjoying this podcast, please consider taking just 3 seconds to share it with someone else. It is a small gesture that could make a big difference in someone's day. Now, sit back and enjoy the rest of the episode. I don't know, maybe he had a point. Let's continue. Now, of course, my daughter's journey here at USC is just beginning, and yours is ending. I know that you are a little bit stressed out right now as you start this exciting new chapter in your lives. Some people say it's scary to leave the comfort of the university and to go out into the cold, hard world. For me, it wasn't like that. For me, like, I just couldn't wait to finish any school, if I have to be honest. But I have to tell you something, he said. I think this is a bunch of nonsense because, after all, this is America. This is the greatest country on earth with the greatest opportunities. It is one thing if you were born in Afghanistan or in Swat Valley in Pakistan, where you'd be forced to join the Taliban or be killed. Now, then I would say yes, that is a little bit scary. Sensitive topic here, yeah? Okay. America was the country of, to realize any dream. Is it like that now? I don't know. There is so much internal wars right now between people and politicians. I don't know if it's the same country as it was, but maybe at the time, we're talking about 10 years ago now, 2010 I think is about this speech, so maybe at the time it's possible. Okay, but this is going to be a piece of cake for you, trust me. You live in America and you are prepared for the future with this tremendous education you have gotten here at one of the greatest universities in the world. This is going to be exciting, it is a great adventure, and this is a new phase in your life. This is going to be awesome. Now, of course, this journey is not going to be without any setbacks, failures, or disappointments. That's just the way life is. But you are ready and you are able, and you would not be here today with your degrees and with your honors if you wouldn't be ready. So now, of course, to help you along the way, I thought that the best Schwarzenegger gift I could give you today is to give you a few of my own personal ideas on how to be successful. And parents, I just want you to know, maybe you should close your ears, or you should plug your ears, because maybe there are a few things that you maybe won't like in what I have to say. But anyway, I can explain how I became successful and who I am today by going through what I call Dr. Schwarzenegger's 6 rules of success. Now, of course, people ask me all the time, they say to me, what is the secret to success? And I give them always the short version. I say, number 1, come to America. Number 2, work your butt off. And number 3, marry Kennedy. Okay, that's funny. But anyway, those are the short rules. Now today I'm going to give you the 6 rules of success. But before I start, I just want to say these are my rules. I think that they can apply to anyone, but that is for you to decide, because not everyone is the same. There are some people that just like to kick back and coast through life, and others want to be very intense and want to be number 1 and want to be successful, and that's like me. I always want to be very intense. I always want to be number 1. I took it very seriously in my career. So this was the same when I started with bodybuilding. I didn't want to just be a bodybuilding champion. I want to be the best bodybuilder of all time. The same was in the movies. I didn't want to just be a movie star. I want to be a great movie star that is the highest paid movie star and have above the title billing. And so this intensity always paid off for me. This commitment always paid off for me. So here are some of the rules. The first rule is trust yourself. Okay, before to start, finally, we are going to start properly. This was a full introduction from him. I would like to note something. I truly love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love him. But we can say also that has not been the best politician, because of course he wasn't a politician, has not been the best actor, because he wasn't the best actor, but still he ran for as a governor for like 8 years, and people were happy with him, and he truly had one of the best, highest paid movie star. And I mean, how did he do that? Right, so let's be honest, he comes from Austria. He came from Austria, and he went to America, and he achieved everything from scratch. And of course, something that he used to say every time he had people around him who helped him, and he is always thankful. And I believe it's true. I believe it's right to say that. But at the same time, guys, I mean, let's be honest. He came from Austria. He worked hard, maybe double, triple hard than a medium average American person who already born there, So just a compliment to him, and let's move forward. The first rule is trust yourself. And what I mean by that is so many young people are getting so much advice from their parents and from their teachers and from everyone. But what is most important is that you have to dig deep down and ask yourself, who do you want to be? Not what, but who. And I'm talking about not what your parents and teachers want you to be, but you. I'm talking about figuring out for yourself what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to other people. I was lucky growing up because I did not have television or didn't have telephone. I didn't have the computers and the iPods. And of course, Twitter was then something that birds it outside the window. Also now with Elon Musk, I really hope it's going better. Anyway, I didn't have all these distractions and all this. I spent a lot of time by myself, so I could figure out and listen to what is inside my heart and inside my head. And I recognized very quickly that inside my head and heart were burning desire to leave my small village in Austria. Not that there was something wrong with Austria. It's a beautiful country, but I wanted to leave the little place and I want to be part of something big. The United States of America, powerful nation, the place where dreams can come true. Who knows if America was the country where any dream can come true? Who knows if it's right now? But it doesn't matter, because in his head it was like that, and that's the most important thing about this situation. Okay. Also, in my case, I mean, now I'm in the Netherlands. I've been in Ireland, but I'm Italian. I left Italy maybe more than 10 years ago now, kind of around 10 years ago, maybe something less. And thinking that any country was better than Italy, right? Maybe it's true, maybe yes, maybe no. It doesn't matter. It's what you think that give you the right energy to make the right step and achieve a certain success. So let's go forward. I knew when I came over here I could realize my dreams. And I decided that the best way for me to come to America was to become a bodybuilding champion, because I knew there was ticket the instant that I saw a magazine cover of my idol, Reg Park. It was Mr. Universe. He was staring Hercules movie. He looked strong and powerful. He was so confident. So when I found out how it got the way I became obsessed, and I went home and I said to my family, I want to be a bodybuilding champion. Now you can imagine how that went over my home in Austria. My parents, they couldn't believe it. They would have been just happy if I would have become a police officer like my father, or married someone like Heidi, had a bunch of kids and run around like the Von Trapp family in Sounds of Music. Beautiful movie. Sorry. Sorry again, I'm not gonna cut this. It's fine. So that's what my family had in mind for me. But something else burned inside me. Something burned inside me. I want to be different. I was determined to be unique. I was driving to think big and to dream big. Everyone else thought that I was crazy. My friends say, if you want to be a champion in a sport, why don't you go and become a bicycle champion or a a skiing champion or a soccer champion. Those are the Austrian sport. But I didn't care. I want to be a bodybuilding champion, and they used that to come to America and use that to go into the movies and make millions of dollars. So, of course, for extra motivation, I read books on strongman and on bodybuilding. I looked at the magazine, and one of the things I did was I decorated my bedroom wall. Right next to my bed, there was this big wall that I decorated all with picture. I hung up pictures of strongmen and bodybuilders and wrestler and boxer and so on. And I was so excited about this great decoration that I took my mother to the bedroom and showed her. And she shook her head. She was absolutely in shock and tears started running down her eyes. Yeah, well, she thought it was almost sex. At this time, it's not so much impactful, maybe, except for certain cities, certain villages. But, we're talking about now Schwarzenegger has, I don't know, he's maybe 24, 25 years old. So, yeah, we're talking about maybe 50 years ago. So, maybe more. So, this makes totally sense. It's beautiful how he visioned himself. He visioned himself putting these figures on the wall, and he truly was doing this daily law attraction way to to become one of that people. He did indirectly. He didn't know. I don't think he knew something about it at the time. But it's funny, right? This reminds me also, just a small note about Jim Carrey, that he used to write a fake check at the end of his show, and he was literally nothing. He was just a comedian in a small, not even a theater, I guess. And after, I don't know, after how many weeks or months or whatever, then he received for real exactly the same check he used, similar of the one he used to write for himself in a fake way. So these strategies work very well, but in his case, it was just, I don't know, it was just, it was just putting the figures of his best people and vision, vision himself as one as of the same people were on the wall. And anyway, the mother say, and she called the doctor, she called our house doctor, she brought him in and she explained to him, there's something wrong here. She looked at the wall with the doctor, she say, where did I go wrong? I mean, all of Arnold's friends have a picture on the wall of girls, and Arnold had all these men. But it's not just men. They are half naked and they are oiled up with baby oil. What is going here? What did I go wrong? So you can imagine the doctor shook his hand and he say, there's nothing wrong at this age. You have idols and you go and have those. They're just quite normal. So I am very forward. I mean, very, very good doctor. So this is rule number one. I want to become a champion. I was on a mission. So rule number one is, of course, trust yourself no matter how and what anyone else thinks. Nice. Rule number two is break the rules. We have so many rules in life about everything. I say break the rules. Not the law, but break the rules. My wife has a t-shirt that says, well-behaved women rarely make history. Well, I don't want to burst their bubble, but the same is true with men. It is impossible to be a maverick or a true original if you are too well behaved and don't want to break the rules. You have to think outside the box. That's what I believe. After all, what is the point of being on his heart if all you want to do is be liked by everyone and avoid trouble? And the only way that I ever got any place was by breaking some of the rules. After all, I remember that after I was finished with my bodybuilding career, I want to get into acting and I want to be a star in films. You can imagine what the agent said when I went to meet all those agents. Everyone had the same line, that it can be done, the rules are different here. They say, look at your body, you have this huge monstrous body, overly developed, that doesn't fit into the movies, you don't understand. This was 20 years ago. The Hercules movie. Now the little guys are in Dustin Hoffman, Woody Allen, Jack Nicholson. Before he gained weight, of course, that is. But anyway, those are the guys that were in. And the agents also complain about my accent. They say no one ever became a star with an accent like that, especially not with a German accent. Yeah, it's true. A German accent. German, United States, okay, we're talking about Austria, yeah, so... I know that for the America and maybe America, I'm talking also about Asia or full Africa, maybe there is not so much distinction between Austrian and German. But I talk about myself, that I'm from Europe and I'm Italian. I tell you, there is a big difference between Austria and Germany, but it is also true that for someone who is not European, that accent can be misunderstood, and can be it may be German for someone, and guys, we all know the relationship between Germany and the United States, and yes. I say, I can imagine with your name, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or whatever the name is, on a billboard. Yeah, that's going to draw a lot of tickets and sell a lot of tickets. Yeah, right. So this is the kind of negative attitude they had. But I didn't listen to those roles, even though they were very nice. And they say, look, we can get you some bit part. We can get you to be playing wrestler or a bouncer. Or maybe with your German accent, we can get you to be a Nazi officer in Hogan's Heroes or something like that. But I really listened to all this. Those were their rules, not my rules. I was convinced I could do it if I work as hard as I did in bodybuilding, 5 hours a day, and I started getting to work. I started at the acting classes, I took English classes, took speech classes, dialogue classes, accent removal class I even took. Well, it didn't work so well, but it's okay. We don't care because we love you for your accent. And I cannot say anything either, my Italian accent sometimes is so marked. I remember running around saying, a fine wine grows on the vine. You see, because Germans have difficulties with the F and the W and the V, so a fine wine grows on the vine. I know what some of you are now say is I hope that Arnold got his money back. But let me tell you something, I had a good time doing those things and it really helped me. And finally I broke through and I started getting the first parts in TV. Streets of San Francisco, Lucy Ball Army, I made Pumping Iron, Stay Hungry. And then I got the big break in Conan the Barbarian. It was literally the first time people finally knew him. And there the director said, if we wouldn't have a Schwarzenegger, we would have to build one. And this phrase is very famous. Now, think about that. And then when I did Terminator, I'll be back, also very famous phrase, became one of the most famous lines in movie history. Is true, all because of my crazy accent. Now, think about it. The thing that the agent said would be totally a detriment and would make it impossible for me to get a job. All of a sudden became an asset for me. All of those things, my accent, my body, and everything. And I want to put a pause here for a while. I mean, think about it, guys. If someone say to you to act as a person 1, person 2, person 3, I mean, where is the particularity? You will get pay as person 1, person 2, person 3. You will get treat as person 1, person 2, person 3. You're not gonna be special. And that's the problem about communities, about politicians who lead the people to think in a certain way, but are also religions. For I don't want to go there, honestly. I'm also Catholic, so I'm not against of religions if that religions teach peace, but it's also true that, talking about religions, right, they teach you to think in the same way as the politicians, as the universities, as the colleges. So, as he said before on this rule, it's important to be in the law, but if you want to be special, you have to break some rule. You have to think a little bit out of the box, otherwise you're not gonna be special. And it's funny because he said also, if it wasn't for his accent and for his maestro's body, there are so two unique things, then he would have never became the Arnold Schwarzenegger we know today. So it just shows to you, never listen to that you can't do something, and you have to work your way up. Of course, run for something else first. I mean, it was the same when I ran for governor, as the same lines that you have to work your way up. It can be done, and then of course I ran for governor, and the rest, of course, is history. They say you have to start with a small job and as mayor, and then assemblyman, and then as a lieutenant governor, and then as governor. And they say that's the way it works in a political career. I said, I'm not interested in a political career. I want to be a public servant. I want to fix California's problem and bring people together, bring the parties together. So, like I say, I decided to run. I didn't pay attention to the rules, and I made it, and the rest is history, which, of course, brings me to rule number 3, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Okay. Anything I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. In the movies business, I remember that you pick scripts. Many times you think this is a winning script, but then of course you find out later on when you do the movie that it didn't work and the movie goes in the toilet. Now, we have seen my movies. I mean, Red Sonja, Hercules in New York, Last Action Hero. But Last Action Hero, I think, was one of my favorite movies at the time. No. I don't remember no, it wasn't that the movie. No, guys, it was another movie. It was about him. It was dressing as the favorite toy of his child, but I don't remember now the title of the movie. Last Action Hero was one of the underrated movie, as I recall. At that time, for politic reasons, didn't go so well, but yeah, I don't remember if I watched it. I have to see. Anyway, he said, those movies went in the toilet, but that's okay, because at the same time I made movies like Terminator and Conan and True Lies, beautiful movie, and Predator and Twins, I love it, that went through the roof. Yeah. Twins was with, oh my god, what is his name now? I know, I have to search. Come on. Twins. Sorry guys, I'm just... oh yeah, Danny DeVito. Yeah, I was Danny DeVito. All right. Okay. So those movies went in the toilet, okay. At the same time, I made movie like Terminator, Conan, True Lies, and Predator, and Twins that went through the roof. Okay, so you can't always win, but don't afraid of making decisions. You can't be paralyzed by fear of failure, or you will never push yourself. You keep pushing because you believe in yourself and your vision, and you know that is the right thing to do. and success will come. So don't be afraid to fail. Rule number 4, don't listen to the naysayers. How many times have you heard that you can't do this and you can't do that? It's never been done before. Just imagine if Bill Gates had quit when people said it can be done. I hear this all the time. As a matter of fact, I love it when someone says that no one has ever done this before, because then when I do it, that means that I'm the first one that has done it. So pay no attention to the people that say it can be done. I remember my mother-in-law and Eunice Kennedy Shriver, when she started Special Olympics in 1968, people said it would not work. The experts, the doctors that specialize in mental disabilities and mental retardation said it can't be done. You can't bring people out of their situations. You can't make them participate in sports, in jumping and swimming and in running. They will hurt themselves. They will hurt each other. They will throw in the pool. Well, let me tell you something. Now, 40 years later, Special Olympics is one of the greatest organizations in 164 countries, dedicated to people with mental disability and that are intellectual challenged. Of course, here there was an applause, and she did not take no for an answer. And the same is when you look at Barack Obama. I mean, imagine if he would have listened. If he would have listened to the naysayers, he would have never run for president. People say it couldn't be done, that he couldn't get elected, he couldn't beat Hillary Clinton, that he would never win the general election. Here it was very delicate because he said, Barack Obama, I mean, imagine if he would have listened. If he would have listened to the naysayers, he would have never run for president. I mean, he didn't say, it didn't go deep. He didn't mention anything about, anything about the color and everything related around. So also here, it was very, very good, smart script. Of course, I imagine at the time he had a bunch of people around him who studied the script for him, but at the same time, you can also notice there is a lot from him as well. So yeah, but maybe not this small part, but generally we notice there is a lot of Arnold in this speech. But he followed his own heart. He didn't listen to the you can't, and he changed the course of American history. So over and over you see that. If I would have listened to the naysayers, I would still be in the Austrian Alps yodeling. I would never have come to America. I would have never met my wonderful wife, Maria Shriver. I would have never had the wonderful 4 kids. I would have never done Terminator, and I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today as governor of the greatest states of the greatest country in the world. So I never listened that. You can't. I always listen to myself and say, yes, you can. And that brings me to rule number 5, which is the most important rule of all. Work your butt off. You never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. I never want to lose a competition or lose an election because I didn't work hard enough. I always believe leaving no stone unturned. Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count my sit-ups, I only start counting when it starts hurting. When I feel pain, that's when I start counting, because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop, and that's the way, it is with everything. No pain, no gain. So many of those lessons that I apply in life, I've learned from sport, let me tell you, and especially that one, and let me tell you, it is important to have fun in life, of course. But when you're out there partying, horsing around, someone out there at the same time is working hard. I just would like to stop a little bit. So he said something so powerful, so important, something that I think as well. Let me tell you, it is important to have a fun in life. Of course, it is important to have fun in life. It is important when you achieve success, when you want to achieve something in your life, to enjoy. Okay, enjoy. If during the journey to success, you are reaching a point where it's not funny anymore, whatever you are doing, it means there is something that you have to change. It's not necessary change the entire project. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's also important to understand when to abandon, your project for something else. But before to do, you have to understand if you have to think like 10,000 times to understand if it's true. But you can also, before to abandon something, to start a new project, it's actually important to understand how you can enjoy better in the same current project, and have fun in whatever you do. Is like a petrol. It's like some energy you get for free, and it's very important because then you will never get tired, and you are also stimulated about what you are doing to achieve a certain success. So have fun. It's very important. Anyway. Let's go back. But when you're out there partying, horsing around, someone out there at the same time and working hard. So of course, it's a run sometimes. So maybe always, even if we don't want to admit. But at the same moment you are stopping to have a party every weekend, that's the moment where every weekend someone else is working hard for his dream. Maybe you are better than him. Maybe potentially you are better than what he's doing right now, right? But it doesn't matter because he's working hard, even if it's not that good as you, and you are doing party. Okay, someone is getting smarter and someone is winning. Just remember that. Now, if you want to coast through life, don't pay attention to any of those rules. But if you want to win, there is absolutely no way around hard work. None of my rules, by the way, of success will work unless you do. I've always figured out that they're 24 hours a day. You sleep 6 hours and I have 18 hours left. Now, I know there are some of you out there that say, well, wait a minute, I sleep 8 hours or 9 hours. Well, then just sleep faster, I would recommend. Okay. This is I would like to go, I would like to analyze this anyway. It says also, because you only need to sleep 6 hours and then you have 18 hours left. And there are a lot of things you can accomplish. As a matter of fact, Ed Turner used to say always, early to bed, early to rise, work life hell, and advertise. And of course, all of you know already those things because otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here today. Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket. True, about sleeping. I have a weird relationship with sleeping, and because when I have in my brain to study and to have to accomplish a certain project, the truth is that I can also sleep 4 hours. Well, 4 hours no, but I don't know. There are times that I used to wake up also at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the reality. And so also when you work hard for something, you don't know yet what you are doing to achieve a certain project, but you still want to do, you have to dedicate a lot of hours. As I said in another episode, after a while, when you know how to work hard, and you reach a point where you also understand how to work smart. And when you understand when to work smart, and then then you can sleep more. But to reach that point, you have to work hard, to have to dedicate more hours. Now, what is the problem about this? There is not right or wrong about it, but we have to balance also our life. I was also always thinking that sleep less hours to achieve a certain project is important, but it's also important to not have a headache, so to be healthy. And because in this way you have more oxygen in your brain, and you have more rest, you have more energy, you can figure out better how to achieve a certain project, a certain success. So you have to balance a little bit. It's important to not sleep 9 hours. Maybe it is too much, especially when you are in the middle of a project, but at the same time it's also important to not sleep for hours, because then you have just a headache and you're not energetic, and maybe you are gonna get overwhelmed, and just a little bit of balance. That's what I understood in the last years, because I was one of the people who used to wake up very, very early, and I sometimes do as well when I think I need to do, but let's say has not to be always like that, okay? Has to be an enjoyment. Your journey to success has to be an enjoyment, all right? So let's say also, if you do 5-6 hours, you have the energy to wake up so early, you have the energy to do few hours per night, and you don't get sick about it because you know that's the right thing to do, well, then let's do it, no worries. But at the same time, if you think these sleeping not so many hours is actually defeating you, so then don't do it. So you have to understand your body, you have to listen to your body. And of course, all of you know already those things, because otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here today. Just remember, you can't climb this very beautiful place. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket. And that takes me to rule number 6, which is very important rule. It's about giving back. Whatever path that you take in your lives, you must always find time to give something back to your community, give something back to your state or to your country. Very important. Well, of course, in his case, is his country, because America gave a lot to him. So he's in his case, it's more like, yes, I have to give something back. But well, something back to your community, something back to the people around you, people who support you. That's very important. You always have to give value. Something about success, something that people make mistakes. They make a bunch of mistakes about it, is that they think that success is a journey where you have always to think about yourself, you have always to dedicate time for yourself and think about how to achieve success for yourself. It's not true. This is so individualistic concept, and it's so wrong. Also in a money way, like, hey, maybe I'm gonna build a course. Oh, it was also my mistake. I'm gonna build a course, and I'm gonna sell this course or this book for 10-15 euro per hour. 10-15 euro per book, or 10-50 euro per week or per month. And yes, I give value to the people in this way, but I get this most important thing, I get money from it, and blah blah blah. This is not the right mindset. The right mindset is that start your journey give value, especially give value, and indirectly you get something from it, you know. It's how he became successful, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he gave a lot of value. Yes, at the start he was thinking about himself, about his body, to become bigger and better, but he became so much bigger, so much strong, is because then he gave back some value with the movie, because he knew that he wasn't enough with his English. So then he improved himself, and he had to be out of his comfort zone. And the politician, you know, when he was a politician, he used to go door by door to make a connection with the people and asking questions about a certain political stuff. I mean, this is such important, giving value so much. Then, of course, indirectly, you are a governor for 8 years, and you get paid a lot because you did a lot as well for the community, for the people around you. So very nice. My father-in-law, Sergeant Shriver, who is a great American, a truly great American, who started the Peace Corps, the job corps legally added to poor. He said at Yale University to the student at the commencement speech, tear down the mirror. Tear down that mirror that makes you always look at yourself, and you will be able to look beyond the mirror, and you will see the millions of people that need your help. Let me tell you something. Reaching out and help. This, and let me tell you something, it's so powerful phrase from from like 80-90% of motivational speaker around us. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You get the attention, you know, from the environment, from the people about you. You are saying, hey, whatever you're doing, stop, because this is very important for your future, for your present. So very powerful phrase. And let me tell you something, reaching out and helping people will bring you more satisfaction than anything else you have ever done. As a matter of fact, today, after having worked for Special Olympics and having started after school programs, I promoted fitness, and now with my job as governor, I can tell you, playing a game of chess with an 8-year-old kid in an inner city school is far more exciting for me than walking down another red carpet or a movie premiere. So let me tell you, as you prepare to go off into the world, remember those 6 rules. Also, I really thought the 6 rules was the guy of the blog, the guy who wrote who copied and pasted the script, and then he put the rules, you know, on the top of the article. But no, here we're talking about 6 rules from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So very, very, very nice, very important. So I just correct myself about what I said before. Trust yourself, break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, work like hell, and give something back. Give something back during your journey, after, before, but always give value. And now let me leave you with one final thought, and I will be brief, I promise. This university was conceived in 1880, back when Los Angeles was just a small frontier town. 125 classes of Trojans have gone before you. They have sat there exactly where you sit today, in good times and in bad, in times of war and times of peace, in times of great promise and in times of great uncertainty. Through it all, this great country, this great state, this great university have stood tall and preserved. We are in tough times now, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. But there is one thing certain, we'll be back. Of course. Of course, you had to say this phrase very, very well. It's okay, it'll match with the speech. And we will back stronger, more prosperous than ever before, because that is what California and America have always done. too much patriotic for a country. Okay, I understand that California, America gave a lot to him, yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's just an American way to think about the fact that they are the top of the world. I don't know, I just like to hear more like, and we'll be stronger, more prosperous than ever before, because that's what the words I've always done. No, I cannot say the word because it's not true, but I mean, I don't know, California and America, well, also the world, right? I mean, okay, maybe not all the world, but yeah, partly. Why California and America only? I feel touched. Anyway, the ancient Trojans were known for their fighting spirit, their refusal to give up, their ability to overcome great odds. So, as you graduate today, never lose that optimism and that fighting spirit. Never lose the spirit of Troy, because remember, this is America, and you are USC Trojans, proud, strong, and ready to soar. Congratulations, and God bless all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very beautiful speech. Very beautiful speech. I really hope you learned something from it. I did, and this is the end of the episode. Guys, I enjoyed a lot this episode. Yes, maybe a long introduction. Yes, maybe some part could be cut, but I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna keep like that. And because his speech is good, it's very good, and it's something we can learn a lot from it. Thank you so much for being here in the Fabio Podcast, Journey to Success, and see you next time. Cheers. Here we are. Congratulations. You just finished my entire episode. So, the only thing I ask is to take a moment to give Journey to Success a rating. By the way, thank you so much for being here on Journey to Success. I'm very grateful. Thank you, and see you next time.